What's up, everybody? Delusion is real. It has been proven that you can tell the truth, be delusional, and lie all in one statement. And when I say that, the truth part, only 10% is true. The rest of it, 90% is delusion and lies. And former Georgia Bulldog running back James Cook proved it. He made a statement, and 90% of it, he don't even believe. And he went public with it like a fool. And he has gave the whole Georgia Bulldog fan base a bad name, even though 99% of the fan base is delusional, just like him. But let's get to his statement. I mean, Jesus, man. I talked about this last night, but this guy said we were supposed to be in the playoff this year. If Georgia was in the playoff this year, we would have won it all. I think they didn't want to see us go back to back to back. We lost one game to Alabama in the SEC championship and hadn't been beaten the whole season. It was like the same scenario my last year in college. We won every game and lost to Alabama in the SEC championship, but we still got in and went on and won it all. But I just feel like they knew Nick Saban was going to retire, so they tried to sneak him one. Now, part of this is true. Okay? It is Nick Saban and Alabama's fault that they didn't get in the playoffs, because Georgia just wasn't good enough to beat my Alabama Crimson Tide. Just like 99% of the time, they're never good enough. James Cook, I'm sure he remember, he was at Georgia Bulldogs from 2018 to 2021, I believe. Yeah, 4 seasons. He's 1-3 against Alabama. So he should know what's going to happen when they face my Alabama Crimson Tide. So yes, that part is true. It is Nick Saban and Alabama's fault that they didn't get into playoff. All right? But what does the delusion come in at? Delusion come in when they say if they would have got in, they would have won it all. Where's the proof? How can you bag that up? He's saying they went undefeated in the regular season. Hey, so did Washington. so did Michigan. Michigan won their conference game. Washington won their conference championship game. Y'all didn't. So that's why they was in the playoff and y'all wasn't. If you would, all you had to do was win one more game. But unfortunately, you had to play my Alabama Crimson Tide. And my Alabama Crimson Tide, Nick Saban, took away all your hopes and dreams. Again, you delusional when you say the committee you referring to didn't want to see y'all go back to back to back. You just wasn't good enough. You just wasn't good enough. You didn't earn your way in the playoff, and you didn't deserve to be in the playoff. Nobody gives a damn that you went undefeated. Maybe the playoff committee looked at the fact that you had the easiest schedule in all the SEC. And maybe they looked at the fact that you had the 100 ranked schedule in all of college football out of 132 teams. Maybe they looked at that. But hey, it is what it is. The easiest schedule in the SEC, and you still couldn't win the conference. Maybe they looked at that, you know. And then, okay, what else did you say? Oh, we went back to back to back. Oh, the part that you said the playoff committee knew Nick Saban was retired. I believe it's 13 people on the playoff committee. So only those 13 people on the committee out of all of college football knew Nick Saban was retired. So 13 people out of millions of people, and them including the fans, those 13 people, the only ones knew Nick Saban was retired. Hell, Nick Saban didn't even know he was retired at that time. Come on, guy. So it is crazy, man. I mean, these Georgia Bulldog fans are delusional. They look for excuse after excuse after excuse and look for people and everything to blame their shortcomings on. Okay, you can blame Nick Saban in Alabama for one part, but the rest of it, you got to blame Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldog program. Maybe they need to prepare better. Maybe Kirby need to have better coaching techniques or better coaching skills. Okay, so hey, just accept it, man. Y'all gotta stop being so delusional and accept the fact that y'all just ain't good enough, and you will never be on Alabama's level. All right, in any sport, just accept that, and then just maybe things will start turning around for y'all. Okay, you Georgia fans are still to this day going around bumping your damn chest, bumping your gums, talking about what y'all gonna do to Alabama September the 28th. And I can tell you what's gonna happen. The same damn result as always. As always, because you're too damn cocky. You're too cocky because you won 2 national championships. Well, maybe if you would factor in the fact that it's 2 national championships out of 44 years, then maybe you will calm the fuck down. Maybe if you just think about the fact that y'all was middle of the road average, a lot of times bottom of the barrel for 41 years, maybe you will calm down. So hey, it is what it is. Because my Alabama Crimson Tide is going to continue to stand in your way. And we're going to continue to beat your ass no matter who the coach. Because we done did it for decades. And it ain't going to change. All right? And then this article go on to talk about that Georgia, it came out that Georgia would have been favored over Washington and Michigan. So I guess that's what make the Georgia fan base think that they would have just went on and won the national championship. Well, guess what? Y'all want to talk about y'all was favored? I remember 2022 when Nick Saban went to the committee and said, hey, we would be favored over a majority of the teams in the playoffs. Georgia Bulldog fans ran wild with it, laughing at Nick Saban. And now, lo and behold, they sitting up talking about they would have been favored over the teams that was in the playoffs. Don't y'all know everything y'all say negative toward Alabama? It turns right back around over y'all, and y'all become the hypocrites. Because when Nick Saban did it, y'all was laughing at him. And now, that's what you want done. Because you favored, you want them just to put you in the playoff. Well, if you was good enough and you earned your way in, you would have got your way. You would have got in the playoff. But you ain't. And then for this guy to say it was the same scenario as 2021, his last year. It was not the same scenario when you won, when the regular season undefeated and lost the SEC championship to Alabama in 2021 and went on and they put you in the playoff and you won the national championship. It's not the same scenario because that scenario was in 2021. You had 0 Power 5 programs that was undefeated. You had Michigan to make the playoff, Georgia to make the playoff, Alabama to make the playoff, and Cincinnati. Cincinnati was the only undefeated team in the playoff, and they wasn't a Power 5 program. So, hey, it's not the same scenario. You had 2 other conference champions. One was a 3-loss conference champion in Utah. The other one was a 2-loss conference champion in Pitt. And Pitt went on to lose their bowl game. So neither one of them, you can't put a 2-loss team in the playoff. They never did it. And you definitely ain't going to put a 3-loss team in the playoff. Never did it. So, you got in, Georgia. Different scenario. In 2023, there was 2 undefeated conference champions, 2 1-loss conference champions. And you think you're going to get in with a loss and not a conference champion? Are you crazy? Florida State got a better case then y'all, I can understand a Florida State alumni came out and say, hey, we got snubbed out the playoffs. Yeah, that's valid. But for a Georgia alumni to come out and say they got snubbed out of a playoff appearance in 2023, no hell they didn't. And when I say the delusion is real, 95% of the Georgia fan base was like, we still going to the playoff. After they lost to Alabama, you clowns actually thought that they would leave a SEC conference champion out the playoff to put another SEC team in there that's not the conference champion. Are you crazy? They have never left the SEC champion out of the playoff. And you thought they was going to make an exception for y'all? That's crazy. Because we went back to back. Yeah, we won 29 in a row. They were supposed to make an exception. Delusion is real. So, just accept the fact that you ain't good enough. Accept the fact that you didn't earn your way and you didn't deserve to be in the playoff. Accept that. Accept that you and your Georgia Bulldogs will never be on the level as the Alabama Crimson Tide, and you will never be in any competition with the Alabama Crimson Tide. Whether it's DeBoer, whether it's Nick Saban, Mike Schuler, he was an outlier. He was an outlier. So, hey, it is what it is. Any one of those programs. It could have been damn Gene Stallings, Ray Perkins. Hey, y'all ain't no competition, man. Just accept that. And maybe things start turning around for you. And Mr. James Cook, it's a sad day when you can tell 1% truth, be the 1% truth, and I'm going to say 40% delusional, and the rest straight up lies. All in one statement. But hey, what do you expect out of the Georgia Bulldog fan base? You can't expect nothing less. Oh my goodness, because that is the only fan base, and I will continue to say it, the only fan base where they can get their ass whooped 9 out of 10 times, and for the current coach, 5 out of the last 6 times, and act as if nothing happened because they won one time. The only fan base, the Georgia Bulldog fan base. The most delusional fan base in all of college football. But let me tell you, my Alabama Crimson Tide is going to beat that damn delusion out of y'all. I'm telling you, because we're going to continue to beat y'all ass time after time after time. I'm telling you. You just can't compete. I'm sorry. You just can't compete. But it is what it is. Y'all are our whooping boy. And come September the 28th, for my Alabama Crimson Tide, it's just another day at the office. Because y'all, not a big game to us. It's just the next week. That's all it is. Another day at the office. Roll damn Tide.